Hi everyone, and welcome to the channel about kit cars and other car topics. If you like what you see, please subscribe, hit the notification buttons and the little bell. So, as you've probably seen in the last few videos, I've been trying to get this car across the finish line. It's been a little bit intense. I've been in a little bit of a frustrated mood, and some of that has to do with my work schedule has been over the top. And when I say over the top, I mean going in at 8 o'clock, coming home at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night for like 2 months straight. It's been just insane. And so on that note, someone locally in Tucson, I don't remember their name. That's, again, like I'm so busy, I don't remember anything. Things are just intense. Contacted me, who's actually building a car. And through some kind of social media account, we were corresponding. And then I did respond to them, and I never heard back from them because they probably expected that I was going to go outside of that. My computer rebooted, did an update, and that was the end of that, and I didn't know where it came from. So, like, it's just been a little tense. So you probably know who you are. Please don't be offended. My bandwidth is just insane, and I'm hoping from, here on out, things are going to kind of get back to normal. So I sincerely apologize. If you want to try to reach out again, we'll try to connect. But it's just been over the top. And I think you can see that, my frustration in trying to get these last few pieces done is, that all adds to it. So it's been kind of crazy. So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to work on the car and get all the, I bought extra like weather stripping to seal up the hood, get that to where the paint's not rubbing on paint and causing, white spots or even, print through basically to black. And also I've been getting great comments from people that are talking about maybe my ticking noise is not valves and actually a exhaust header. And I actually just so happened to watch a video the other day where they were talking about exhaust headers ticking, which I was like, oh, I didn't even think about that. But we'll try that today and see if that works out. And then the other comments have been, that there really isn't a valve adjustment with LS engines, that you just torque them down to a 22 pounds on the torque wrench. And GM kind of has a, go through this scenario type of thing and, top dead center and all that stuff. And then 50% of the audience out there is like, it doesn't matter, just torque it all down, you're all good to go. And I don't know where I'm at. And so for the last 2 weeks, I've been wanting to call, they're only open Monday through Friday, the engine company that helped me with the engine and gave me all the advice. So I wanted to ask them what they thought. And I come home every day and I go, oh yeah, I forgot to call. It's past 5 o'clock. And so, and it happened today again. Today's Friday, and 2 weeks in a row, I think about it, I get to work, I get bombarded, and I just can't get these things answered or the calls made or the things happening. So I apologize to you, and I'm apologizing to myself because it's just been intense. So we're gonna hop on, get some of this weather stripping done. I bought some extra stuff. This is stuff that has nothing to do with Factory 5. This is aftermarket stuff that I'm adding to the car. And I just noticed that there's little wear marks and stuff that I really don't want on the car. The other thing I wanted to mention was 6-8 months ago, I started working on swag designs. So all sorts of t-shirts with the 33 Hot Rod on it and all sorts of cool stuff because my YouTube channel is big enough now to actually have a store. And so if you guys are interested in that, hopefully in a few weeks I'll have that up. I started the process like 6-8 months ago. We used a picture while the car was blue, but I had tape and the headlights weren't aligned. It was kind of funky looking. And I had all this stuff mocked up and I was like, great, I just need to go get pictures that are real and then, infuse that into the design and we're ready to go and put it up. And then I just got busy and then, the car needs to be touched up and repainted. And now it's like, I'm going to try to take a picture tomorrow, but if that doesn't work, like the fenders are coming off and it's going to get painted. And 2 weeks later I get the fenders. And so I'm just like, it's just been absurd. The amount of craziness and stuff getting in the way of each other to get stuff done. But in any case, I'll probably do like coffee mugs and hats or whatever. Like I'll put a bunch of stuff up, but I'm going to have some vintage designs, a little bit more modern designs, cool stuff that kind of has the car involved. So I'm excited about that too. All right, so we got, this is really cool. It's like a flat piece. And I have that so it's not rubbing up against here. That came out really nice. I'm letting that set before I compress everything and compress it, and it's all weird. I rather set where it is and then it comes down. Then I got this other aftermarket stuff that just perfectly fits, and you got to see I only got like a little tiny area that could fit. Originally I was going to put one here, and then I kind of realized that the other one would be floating out here, it wouldn't even be on here, so I decided to do one there, and maybe I'll beef it up later. The other thing I added was one in here, so this isn't raw and hitting the side. I also readjusted this screw that's holding here, and I put a bumper in right around here on each side. That kind of makes this look a little better. And I came up with an idea. This is a really difficult area to get in. Instead of drilling and doing all that and trying to get in there with a screw, which, you know, that would be awesome. But honestly, I'm not really interested in taking this off because you have to take the headlight and it takes a few people and screw all that. So there's a clamping idea that I have that will actually work. And I bought some clamps, and the idea is proven at this point, but the clamps are just a hair too big. So I need to find something a little smaller that will work. So another update I want to say is I've officially returned all the carbon fiber stuff. I didn't like it. I'll show you a picture right here. Like, I'd started doing mock-ups and it just looked horrible to me. And yes, those are supposed to be flames on the top, or like, I was like, you know, if it's just a square coming off, it's going to look stupid. So why don't we, you know, do some kind of flame or design or something? And so I was just, you know, messing around, but man, it just looked horrible. I don't like it. There's no other real black on the car besides the tires. So I just thought it was like an eyesore. And I said, no, my official decision is pull the fenders, repaint them, put them back on the car, clear PPF, self-healing, done. Now, does that PPF stop right here? Do we do the whole fenders? I'm assuming if we do the whole fenders, it's going to look different than the rest of the car. So I'm not really down with that either. So maybe just the front, and people know what it is. It is what it is, and I just got to watch what I'm doing when I'm waxing and stuff. So there's one other thing I wanted to throw out to you guys. So I've been spending a lot of time thinking about how I'm doing a prop rod. And then I started going online and looking for all sorts of custom prop rods. And not a lot exists except this like plastic stuff you put on the front of like a Camaro SS or something. So what I want to do is I want to take my original prop rod, put it up here, and then, or up here or whatever. And then this is a M6 1.0 thread some kind of V on here to grab this, and then I would be all locked in. So I've been trying to go to like, I think, was it McMaster Car or whatever it's called. They don't have anything. I've talked to them. The closest thing that came to that was like, well, first a wing nut, but that's too small, not enough depth on that I feel secure. Another one was like a type of clevis, if you will, where it's just the U part of it. So I'm almost thinking if someone has any ideas of how to do that, or someone has a 3D printer or whatever kind of like little extension, and I wouldn't even mind making it longer because I would love to have the hood as high as possible like it is now, because what happens is when it's down here, you can't really see all the cool stuff on the front of the engine. And, you know, when I didn't have the side panels and all that stuff going on in the hood, and you would see the car sitting there, it was like, oh, wow, look at the front of this engine. It was amazing. But now that it's buttoned up, and this is, I don't know if you call this suicide or whatever on the hood, you can't see the cool. So if you're thinking about putting thousands of dollars into the front end drive system, you might think again on a 33. This is one of the only few that fits, but you know, whether you pay for the super bling or, you know, whatever, polished and all that, might not matter. However, this is Eddie Motorsports. They help sponsor it. This is amazing freaking front end. It fits perfectly inside this frame. And so I tried to do the best I can to get them in my final video, but you just can't, I can't get a camera in here to like show it. So I did a few other things that hopefully will suffice. But in any case, I would like to have this as open as possible. So imagine, again, M6 1.0 threads. Imagine just adding like a square box that extends out and then maybe just cuts a hole that would be as thick as this, and then it just forks on there and gives me a little bit of an extension off that rod. That would be perfect. And if there's any other ideas that people have, that'd be great, but I think this would be the cheapest option with something I already own that I polished. But yes, I am looking to my supporters here to help me out on this one, because I've tried everything and I can't seem to find anything worthy. Now they do make like aftermarket telescopic prop rods, and that is an option, but they just look a little bit dorky, like you're putting a photography monopod or something in there. It just doesn't look right. And of course the top of it would just be a rubber bumper, which I could fit under here, but that's not the same as latching on here. Sorry, got to get the camera angle up. Be better, it's not the same as latching up on here. So yeah, so any help on that would be awesome. So that's kind of all the big decisions right there. The next thing I'm going to look at is whether I'm taking these doors off and sanding down the door hinges, and maybe getting some more star washers on both sides, because I just can't get these doors to not slide. I don't know what the deal is. The other thing is I tried the headers, and the headers are super tight, so that's not the issue. So we definitely need to call and get the rundown on how I should approach that. Taking these valve covers off is super easy and literally takes like 2 minutes. Getting them sealed back up is a little bit more difficult, but in this case, not a problem taking off. And I would only take off the one side. I believe all my ticking is coming from this area. So we will try that. So we're getting close to my reveal video. I know I've been kind of just leaking a little bit about, you know, what's going on, what's happening. And I want to say that I really dedicated a long time to making this video. I hope everybody likes it. It's coming out very soon, within a few weeks. And I just want to let you know, like, it's been somewhere in the 300 to 400 hours of extra time to make these videos. I got 2 videos. So one is a full documentary and one is the actual release video. And so it's been really fun to do. It pushes my abilities and takes it to the nth degree to make the best that I can for you guys and for myself, because I love doing this stuff. So in any case, it's going to be really awesome and I hope you really like it. And the thing that's cool also is Factory 5, the people I've been talking to at Factory 5 are really excited about it also. And so that means a lot to me. And they're going to be releasing an article kind of summing up the end of my build. And it's just really nice to have great communications with them. And it's just been a real pleasure to build this car. Trials and tribulations, no doubt. Beat my head against the wall, no doubt. But this is a childhood dream. And it's finally realized. And now that I've done one, man, doing another one or, you know, restoration or whatever, like, it's all going to come with little idiosyncrasies, but it's going to be way easier than this one was. So, and, you know, I also pushed this to a full show car spec, so that's a little different than a race car that you don't have to paint or, you know, whatever. So I've been really excited about this, and I'm really happy to wrap this one up. So stick with me for a few more weeks on this, and of course, you know, I want to do future projects like the van. And obviously, you know, possibly some other projects too, like F9R. And yeah, so, you know, there's always kind of a balance of like what's going on, what has my interest. I think I also have interest in rebuilding some cars. You know, I don't know about a salvage car, but possibly salvage car. Something more in the supercar kind of range. So that's kind of where my interest started before I even got into this. And then the next thing you know, I'm doing these cool vintage vehicles. But, you know, there is definitely some cars that I'm really interested in owning and having and possibly fixing at the same time for the channel and for my personal enjoyment. So we're clocking in at 93 degrees on a Friday night in the garage. So sorry I'm sweating here. I wanted to turn the air conditioner off so you could actually hear me speak. But till next time, have a great day.